This is Poland Daily News. My name is Aleksander Wierzejski. We start from the vaccination program. 10,000 doses of the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine are being distributed among Poles. Poland is to receive 300,000 additional doses by the end of the week. With each EU member state now in possession of the vaccination, medical personnel and members of high-risk groups are first in the line.
Bravo!
How are you feeling? Fine. Can't you see the joy in my eyes? Sunday was the first day of the national COVID-19 vaccination program. In the morning, the first jab was received by Alicja Jakubowska, the chief nurse of the Warsaw Central Clinical Hospital of the Ministry of Interior and Administration. The patient did not show any signs of an allergic reaction. In her opinion, the vaccine is like armor. Several other members of staff followed suit. 5 hospital employees were vaccinated and 75 vials of the vaccine remain. These will be used to vaccinate 375 patients. I think my attitude shows that you should receive the vaccine in order to return to normality. We believe that we are able to vaccinate 1,000 people a day. Professor Waldemar Wierzba, the director of the hospital, also received a vaccine today. According to him, the vaccine will continue to be effective in the case of mutation of the virus. We will see evidence of the effects of this vaccine after an observation period. The vaccination are to prevent coronavirus infection. I'm glad they are here, although this is a drop in the ocean of needs. American and European organs ensure that all vaccines are tested and safe. You can't be sure of assurances that the long-term effects of the vaccine are non-existent. There was no time to investigate. The vaccine is new. The vaccine continues to raise doubts. Possible side effects are unknown, and the examination lasted only 1 year. Doctors are justifying the space with ready-made technology. This is not being said. In the UK, there are certain groups that should not be vaccinated. It has not been fully tested and its safety is unsure. This applies to pregnant women, those who plan for pregnancy. The long-term effects of the vaccine are unknown when it comes to fertility. According to a survey, 1 of 3 Poles does not believe the assurances of physicians. We ask Warsawians what they think. I fear the vaccine more than virus. We're scared, just like everyone else. I have fears. It's not tested. I have no fear. We will receive the vaccine. If it's possible, I'll sign up. I think so. I won't unless I'm made to. There is also an ethical issue. Some of the vaccines were to be based on cells of aborted children. The mRNA vaccine, which has been delivered to Poland, does not use this technology. As more vaccine enter the market, it is important that there is a variety. Everyone who has the need to get vaccinated should be able to make a choice with no issues. According to the manufacturers, the vaccine is 90% effective. In total, Poland is to receive 1.5 million doses of the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki stated that the national program of coronavirus vaccination in Poland is to start on January 15th. From that day on, every Polish citizen will be eligible to sign up for free vaccination. This is the biggest logistical operation of the Polish state in the decades. Meanwhile, let's check the recent update on COVID-19 in the country. According to the latest data from the Polish Ministry of Health, there are 3,678 new COVID-19 infections in the country. 57 more people have died. The total number of deaths reported in the country since the beginning of the epidemic is 27,118. Soldiers of the Territorial Defence Forces who have helped almost 16,000 drivers leave Great Britain are making their way back to Poland. Thus, the Polish army ended the operation under the codename Zumbach. The world media noted help for drivers trapped in Dover, both from the Polish state and Poles living in the UK. Media all around the world, including British newspapers such as Metro, Daily Mirror and the London Economic, as well as the Portuguese television station RTP, have been talking about the action carried out by Polish doctors and soldiers who decided to assist in conducting tests for the presence of coronavirus on truck drivers waiting at the United Kingdom border in order to get to their home countries for Christmas. Blockage in Kent was the result of the decision made by France, which closed its border with Great Britain last Sunday due to the new variant of the coronavirus spreading in England. The border was reopened on Wednesday, but only to people who tested negative for the virus. The Polish army, French firefighters, as well as Polish soldiers from the 12th Territorial Defense Brigade, the General Command of the Armed Forces, and Polish doctors assisted in conducting coronavirus tests on truck drivers trapped in Dover. Extraordinary times require extraordinary Christmas nativity scenes. At least that's what the Catholic community in Reiningen believes. True to the community's tradition of building unusual and colorful nativity scenes, this year main character is neither Joseph, Mary or baby Jesus. This year the main protagonist is the coronavirus.
Pastor Franz Pitzel, who has been in charge of setting up the nativity scene for over 40 years, came up with the idea of adapting the traditional characters and scenes to the new situations and scenes seen all over the world this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. This year everything revolves around the coronavirus, so it is no big invention, but we wanted to do something with it. Our top priority was to encourage people with this nativity, and that is why we chose it as a topic. In other years, the church has featured the Soccer World Cup in Brazil, the Taj Mahal, or the Sydney Opera House. Last year, for instance, we chose the mountains. We already did a lot of themed cribs, including bridges or even the Soccer World Cup. There are certain similarities with the coronavirus in that case. Whereas the World Cup is something joyful, there was a crib inside a soccer ball. This one now is one that will make us very, very thoughtful. The oversized papier-mâché coronavirus is wrapped with a message reading, "Do not be afraid," a message aimed at encouraging people with a biblical message. Originally, the Holy Family was placed next to the big virus figure in the center of the nativity scene, but broad criticism forced Pitzel and his volunteers to separate the Holy Family from the virus. They are now showcased in the central aisle, a move Pitzel has chosen to see as a new tradition.
When workers at the London Zoo wanted to add a touch of festive joy to their park by decorating it with handmade Christmas wreaths, a pair of cheeky llamas had other ideas. Llamas, Andy and Dainty, were quick to make a meal out of the festive decor pinned to their enclosures.
Keepers at ZSL London Zoo have put Andy the llama on Santa's naughty list after the cheeky youngster tucked into a selection of handcrafted wreaths destined to be part of the zoo's Christmas festivities. Footage shared by London Zoo shows llamas Andy and Dainty leaning over the fence to tuck into their leafy autumnal decorations, just moments after they were placed outside their enclosure, throwing them up into the air before devouring them. The edible wreaths were made from the plants and trees found within the zoo. In 2019, Andy the llama officially opened ZSL London's zoo new visitor activity, Animal Adventure Zone, by eating the ceremonial plant-based ribbon. Llamas typically feast on grasses and shrubs, according to the zoo's website.
That's all for tonight. Please join me in the moment for Poland Daily Business.